Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool. So in this video, we will take a couple of examples to study the floral diagrams as well as the floral formula. So like we have seen in the previous class, that is the Fabaceae family. Here again we are seeing the Solanaceae family, and after that the Liliaceae family, which is being given in your NCERT. So here we will again first see the characteristics, and then based on that we will write the floral formula, we will just see the floral formula and then the floral diagram. So habitat is a place where a particular plant is usually grown, or the population of that particular plant which is widely seen is called as the habitat of that particular plant. So the members belonging to the Solanaceae are, since widely the potatoes are the most famous members of the Solanaceae family, it is also called as the potato family. The habitators, they are grown in the tropical region, subtropical region, and even in the temperate regions. Then the vegetative characteristics. So usually they are seen as the herbs, shrubs, and rarely the small trees also. Then the stem is herbaceous, rarely woody, and aerial. So we have already seen what is aerial, subaerial, underground stems and everything. So the aerial, erect, cylindrical, branched, solid or hollow, hairy or glabrous, and underground stem in case of the potato. Then leaves, again the alternate leaves, simple, rarely they are pinnately compound leaves, they are exstipulate and they have reticulate venation. Then moving on to the floral characteristics. So inflorescence is cymose type of inflorescence. What is cymose inflorescence? So here the main axis will terminate into a flower and they will branch out there. In case of racemose, which we had seen previously in the Fabaceae family, there the main axis was not terminating into a flower. The main axis was actually growing. Whereas in case of cymose or axillary type of the inflorescence, here the main axis will actually terminate into the flower and the branchings will be growing there. Then flower is bisexual, that is male and female flowers, or male and female flowers are the male and female parts are in the same flower, or the male flower and the female flower are there in the same plant. Then actinomorphic, it can be cut through any axis, you will get two equal halves. And if it is cut only through one single axis, then it is a zygomorphic flower. Calyx, the members are sepals, and there are 5 sepals which are united, persistent, and they show the valvate estivation. Then about the corolla, so again here the petals are 5 and they are united and they also show the valvate estivation. Androecium, so there are totally 5 stamens there and they are epipetalous. So epipetalous is the stamens are attached to the petals or to the whorl of the corolla. Gynoecium, they are bicarpellary, obligately placed, syncarpous, and ovary is superior, bilocular, placenta is swollen with many ovules and they show the exile type of placentation. About the fruits, they are usually berry or capsule. About the seeds, they are many and they are endospermous. Endospermous, that is, they have the endosperm which stores the food. Hence, they are called as endospermic seed. So now, coming on to the main part, that is the floral formula and the floral diagram. So floral formula, we know that the flowers are actinomorphic and bisexual. So they are actinomorphic and they are bisexual. So if it is zygomorphic, we have to write this. If it is actinomorphic, it is this symbol, right? So they are bisexual flowers. About the calyx, there are totally 5 sepals which are 5 sepals which are united or fused. So we have written calyx, they have 5 sepals and in the bracket, so it means that they are fused and they show the valvate estivation. We will show it here. Then the corolla. Corolla again, they have 5 petals and they are also united. So we have written it in the bracket. Valvate estivation, we will show it here in the floral diagram. Androecium, there are 5 stamens. There are 5 stamens and they are epipetalous. It means that they are fused with the corolla. So this is the indication of fusion. Okay. Then the gynoecium. Gynoecium is bicarpellary. Alright, they are bicarpellary and they are syncarpous. Syncarpous is they are fused. Hence, we have written it in the bracket. And the ovary is superior. So, gynoecium is above and all the other parts are below here. And they are bilocular. Placenta is swollen with many ovules that we will show in the floral diagram now. So, now, actinomorphic, bisexual is fine. About the floral diagram, firstly, this is the calyx. So, this outermost region, it is the calyx here. And since they are showing the valvate estivation, okay, valvate estivation, and they are fused, isn't it? So, if you see here, the sepals are fused. So, this is the fusion. All the sepals are fused and valvate estivation is there is no overlapping. So, the sepals are not overlapping here and they are fused. And then the next wall, that is the corolla. So, corolla here again it is showing the valvate estivation. So, there is no overlapping. So, we have not shown any kind of overlapping here. Simply they are fused. And then after that, now the third one is the androecium. So, androecium here, there are again 5 stamens, isn't it? 5 stamens, but we had seen there one condition like the stamens can be either fused to themselves or they can be fused to some other wall. So, here since we have written it as 5 in the bracket, this bracket is showing that it is fused, but this symbol is showing that it is fused to the corolla, it is not fused to themselves. So, here to the whorl of corolla, all the stamens are attached. Okay. So, this shows that it is in a epipetalous condition. Then about the gynoecium. So, gynoecium here, firstly, they are bicarpellary. Okay, there are 2 carpels which is been written there. And they are syncarpous, hence we have written it in the fused condition. Then they are obligately placed. This particular statement, this phrase, obligately placed. So, we have not written this particular, this is not straight here. Okay, see, I'll write it once again. Gynoecium, we have not written it in this way. We could have written it in this way also, isn't it? But we have written it slightly oblique. That is because it is obligately placed and the ovary is superior and it is bilocular. Okay, this is one locule, this is second locule. So, it is bilocular and placenta is swollen. So, this swollen, okay, this swelling, I mean this is the placental lining and this is the swelling of the placenta. Okay, this is the swelling of the swollen placenta with many ovules exile. Okay, with many ovules exile. So, this is about the Solanaceae family. So, I hope now you know how to write a floral formula and a floral diagram just seeing into the characteristics. So, we will take one more example now, that is the Liliaceae. The Liliaceae family, which is famously called as lily family. So, the characteristics of the lily family goes as follows. They are perennial herbs with underground bulbs, corms and rhizomes. Bulbs, corms, rhizomes, all we have seen in detail in the stem. Then leaves, they are mostly basal, alternate, linear, exstipulate with parallel kind of venation. So, since they have parallel venation, you can easily make out that the members of this particular family are usually monocots. Fine. On dicots have reticulate and monocots have parallel venation. So all the members belonging to the Liliaceae family are usually monocots. Then moving on to the floral characteristics. Inflorescence is cymose. What is cymose? That is, the main axis will terminate into a flower and the branching will take place. Then, so here the flower is bisexual and actinomorphic. Then, so here there is no calyx and corolla. It is the fused calyx and corolla, that is the perianth. So the tepals are 6, 3 plus 3. So in this 3 plus 3, 3 will be calyx and 3 will be corolla. Since they are fused, we are totally taking it as 6 tepals. They are united and they show the valvate estivation. Since they are showing the valvate estivation, there is no overlapping there. Then the androecium, here there are 6 stamens, that is 3 plus 3, and they are epipetalous, that is they are fused. Then the gynoecium. So gynoecium here is tricarpellary and their syncarpus and ovary is superior and it is trilocular with many ovules and they show the axile kind of placentation. So now we will move on directly to the floral formula. Since they have written BR here, it is bracteate. It means that they have bract. Then it is actinomorphic. Then it is bisexual. Then here petals we have written 3 plus 3, that is 3. So we will directly relate it to the floral diagram also. See, the outermost, this is 3 calyx or 3 sepals and these are 3 petals. Since it is valvate estivation, here the petals are also, the sepals are also not overlapping, the petals are also not overlapping. So they are not, as well they are not united also, they are actually free. So then here the sepals and petals together, since we have written it as one single structure, that is the perianth. The perianth is the fusion of a petal and a sepal. So if this is petal, if this is sepal, if this is petal, these two should be fused here. Hence we have shown the fusion like this. Okay, together it is called as the sepal and the petal. Then the androecium here, it is also having the 6 stamens. So 3 attached to the petals and 3 attached to the sepals. And then the gynoecium. So since it is tricarpellary, okay, since they have got 3 carpels, we have written it as the 3 and it is syncarpus, that is fused. Hence, it is written in the bracket here. So now there is multilocular. It is multilocular. See, we have drawn 3 locules. 1, 2, 3. 3 locules and it shows the axile type of placentation. Fine. So we have also shown the axile type of the placentation here. So this is about the floral diagram and the floral formula of the members of the Liliaceae. So since these three are there in your NCERT, that is the Solanaceae, Liliaceae and the Fabaceae. So these 3 are very important. Actually, you have to remember the floral formula as well as the floral diagrams of these 3 families. Fine. As well as please remember all the symbols of all the symbols which are used to write the floral formula. So they can just ask it this way. They can just give a couple of symbols and they can ask you to write the description of that particular symbol. So that can also be done, or they can give you a floral formula and they can just give some characteristics and they may ask you to match it down. Fine. So practice these formulas as well as the floral diagrams properly. So this completes your chapter of morphology of the flowering plants. So I hope you have understood everything. So I've tried my best to cover all the points present in the NCERT as well as few important things which are not there in the NCERT also. So we will see again, we'll come up with the next chapter in the next video. So till then, keep watching the videos.